Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wednesday show. I'm Hammer, and I'm joined by my two favorite Wednesday show hosts, Genty Maxey.
Hello.
And Terry Diamantis.
Hello.
How you doing, Jen?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I am well. I fell today, but I did not injure myself, which is unusual. How you doing, Terry?
I have not fallen over, so I'm doing
Better than me.
well.
It snowed, and then the temperature dropped, and it evaporated and snowed a little bit more, and then got warm, and then snowed a little more, and then so we got a sheet of ice, and then 2 days ago it snowed on top of the sheet of ice. So I had to take the trash down. I got outside the front of my house and just stepped in the wrong place. There was the ice underneath the snow that I didn't see, and zip boom on my ass. So my next door neighbor come running out. You okay? You okay? I'm just like laughing because I fell. It didn't hurt.
Okay, well that's good.
So, because if you can, there's not always the opportunity, but sometimes when you lose your balance and you fall, it's kind of in slow motion. You're kind of like, That's what happened. I didn't just like a zip boom and be down like that. I took time, so I knew I was going to fall. So I had time to. It's like, okay, don't tense up. You're going to hit the ground. You're on snow and ice. There's a good chance you'll be all right. Just allow yourself to limp and bounce a little bit. You'll be fine. And I was. So, but he was more panicked than I was. I was just kind of like laying on my side, like laughing and to myself. I wasn't laughing out loud, but I was just thinking, you fucking idiot. What the hell are you doing? So I ordered crampons from Amazon today, which is nothing to do with ladies' problems. Crampons are a thing you put on the spike shoe. There's spikes that you put on the bottom of your shoe. Yeah. Some shoes come with spikes, but these are like rubber straps that go around a shoe. And, and it has like little spikes, which will allow me to walk in the snow up here. I should have had one. I used to have them, but they were gone. I don't know where they went. And they were a little small for me. So my feet are, I don't wear shoes anymore. I wear these sandals because of my diabetes. So I have to wear a size up anyway. So I probably couldn't have used the old ones because I don't think you want to stretch so far. But yeah, I didn't get injured. So I'm okay. It's kind of humiliating though. If your neighbor's running across the street with his hands out.
No. You do the Pee Wee Herman. I meant to do that.
I meant to do that. I just wanted to see how slippery it was.
Yeah.
If his wife came running out, different story. But him coming out was kind of like, eesh.
Yeah.
Took a hit. Let's say hi to everybody in chat.
Oh, sure. Yes. So over on Rumble, let's see. We've got Jack Gunsky. We've got JB. Lots of conversation. And I think we saw Corsten, there he is, and Kevin stopped in briefly as well. That's it.
Okie dokie. And we start off ours with Hammer. Hello, Hammer.
Hey.
And we got a Kevin. Hello, Kevin. Hi, Rotten Corpse. Hi, Terry. Hi, Green. Hi, Terry. Yeah, I think that was it.
GBO.
I think so.
Yee. Go up, go down. Yep, that's it.
Awesome.
Aha.
Do we want to go over the topics or not?
Well, let's go over them in the pretense that we'll ever discuss them.
We're at that point now. It's like, do we even want to mention them? Fucking.
Yeah.
That's pretty terrible. Okay, so there are 4. I'll go over them very quickly because I don't want to start a conversation about them because we got other fun things to talk about, I'm sure. Gabbing is about Tulsi. She got the nod for DNI. Fire, kind of a topic specifically for me, but I thought, hey, I'll throw one in there just for me. NVIDIA's new video card, the 5090, is bursting into flames worse than the 4090s were. Bondi has decided to declare war on sanctuary states.
See, I was hoping that one was Bondi, as in the Australian beach. I thought maybe something was going on.
I thought it was for cars, Bondo. It's the feminine version of the word Bondo. And then finally, Tagteam. That's not something sexual. Vance and Ruben are gonna go over to Russia and try to figure out Ukraine. So
I think Tagteam is also a band, wasn't it? They did.
it's a
There it is. Yeah.
WWF move
by Tagteam.
Yeah.
So there you go. That should be to get the poll. That's the outro song. Whoomp, there it is by Tagteam.
For me, it's always been wrestling lingo. You know, kind of deal. You tag the other guy in. You're part of the tag team.
Yeah. I figured everyone knew that context. Yeah. That's why I went with the band. I figure most people don't know the name of the band that sings "Whoomp, There It Is" because it's kind of an obscure. Like it was a popular song at the time.
Popular song, but not a popular artist. Yeah, we were talking about this before on Rumble. Before, you know, we were talking about all the good stuff. We were talking about the Baja Men, and people are like, Baja Men. I was like, yeah, that's you know, Who Let the Dogs Out. Oh, yeah, everybody knows the song, not who made it.
Yeah, Lou Bega, Mambo No. 5.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I could not tell you another song Lou Bega sang ever. Maybe he didn't sing another song ever. I couldn't tell you. But he did sing Mambo No. 5, and I do like that song.
Anita, what the hell was her last name? Can't remember her last name. The girl who sang "Ring My Bell," old disco song.
Is that Anita Ward?
Ward, yeah, that's Anita Ward. That's who it is. Yeah, only song she ever did.
What else? I know the Australian version of "Ring My Bell." The artist was a lady. I think it was Colette. That was the name of the artist, Colette. And she did a version of "Ring My Bell," and that's the one I think of.
Okay.
I did know that it was a cover of an Anita Ward song.
I don't know what the band's name was. It did Funky Town.
There was two. Okay, so the one you're thinking of is Lips Inc.
Oh yeah, Lips Inc. That's right.
But the one I think of is the Australian version. Once again,
of course.
The Australian cover version of Funky Town was by Pseudo Echo.
Okay, I've never heard it. Is it good?
Yeah, I think the Pseudo Echo version is better than the original.
Really? We don't see very many of those. I think we've only agreed on one after talking about the subject several times.
But the thing is, it's like Lips Inc.'s version is like a kind of a disco song, whereas Kind of. Man, that's the definition. That's right next to the word in the dictionary. Yeah. That's the song. But like Pseudo Echo's version is more rock than disco. So that's the same thing with what's her face with the girl I just mentioned in my head that I didn't say. No. The girl I mentioned in my head that I didn't say out loud because I couldn't think of her name. I still can't. Geez, now I can't remember either artist. Jesus. Okay. The artist that made the song, and she bought it from them. She's an Australian singer, pretty short hair brunette. Natalie Imbruglia? Yeah, the one we talked about, Natalie Imbruglia. Yeah, and what was the other one? The people started not Snapchat. I keep thinking Snapchat, but it's not Edna
that.
Swap.
Edna Swap. Yeah. You're my memory. Thank you. Well, I've offloaded my memory onto you and ask you all the questions. Once you said it was an Australian singer, it's like, oh, he's talking about Natalie Imbruglia. Yeah, she's a cutie. But yeah, I think that's the only song we've ever agreed on, because we've had this discussion before. It's the only song we've ever agreed on to say the second one was technically better than the first one. I mean, Edna Swap's a pretty good version, but obviously the general public didn't like it as much as they liked Natalie. Yeah, but like the general public liked Bananarama's version of Venus more than that's true. The Shocking Blue version, and I think the Shocking Blue version is way better. Yeah, I gotta agree with you. Version. Yeah, well, I mean, it's because it's what ruins it more than anything else is the orchestration. It's immensely pop. It's like Anita Ward is disco. That song is so poppy. There's bubble gum hanging off the women when they're singing. Yeah. It's just ridiculously poppy. So I'm actually going to get a lot of scorn because of that. I think if you listen to the Shocking Blue version of Venus, it is way great. Better than Bananarama. Yeah. I mean, it's hard rock. Yeah, it's like a legitimately good song. Yeah, well, it's a band too. Yeah, it's not just it's three girls singing to a synthesizer.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I think there's not a lot of songs where the cover version is better than the original, but there's a handful.
Yeah. That's something we could put in a topic one day.
Yeah.
Because if we're talking about it on Rumble, I can actually play the clips back to back, and people can actually hear the difference in the songs. Some people aren't even aware that things are remakes. There's a lot of things that were remakes. I mean, what was the Sade song? Nothing Compares to You.
Oh, that was Sinead O'Connor.
Or Sinead O'Connor, yeah. So I don't know if you've heard the Prince version. Sinead was much better.
Right. I think there's a lot of like really nothing songs that someone covered and then made into something. Like Whitney Houston's entire career was taking songs people didn't know existed and singing and doing such a good cover version of them that people think that she's the original
artist. Yeah, I think Katy Perry has some of that too. Yeah, redoing songs. There's a lot of big names in music that do a lot. Maybe not a lot, but I mean, I Want to Fly Away by what's his black artist? I want
Lenny Kravitz.
Lenny Kravitz. That's not his.
Yeah, of course.
He's not the original. So yeah, I mean, it's just like, but everyone knows him when you play that song.
Oh, of course.
So
I just had one and it's gone. Oh, Mental Health. The song by Quiet Riot. That's actually no, not Mental Health. The one that's a cover of Slade. I'm blanking on the name, but yeah, Quiet Riot did a cover of
You can blank on a name too, then.
What's that?
You're not really great being my memory if you're blanking on names too.
Yeah, but Come On Feel the Noise. That's the song.
Come On Feel the Noise.
The Quiet Riot version of Come On Feel the Noise is way better than the original. Like, it's not even close for me.
Yeah. It's just, you got to wonder, some of these are significantly different, and I can respect that. But when they try to get it basically a duplicate just to get cash,
I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't like that. So, how quickly we get off on the music.
Yes.
If we start talking about movies, we're in trouble.
And then six is probably because of the delay. He didn't realize that I thought of the name. But yes, Come On Feel the Noise is the song I was thinking of. Thank you, Sid.
Yeah, we should probably go off topic of music. We can get one of our topics going, just to break the difference, because we never get one of our topics. Which one do you want to do? Jen has to pick.
Go for it.
Fire.
Fire. You really?
That's the last one I thought you'd pick.
Yeah, me too. I almost wasn't ready for you to. What? Do we have a topic by that name? Because I just put that up for me. I just put it for me because I figured neither one of you could be remotely interested in it, and probably most of the audience isn't either. But well, it is the truth. NVIDIA has been naming their video cards since the 9 series cards as 960s, 970s, 980s, that kind of thing. And they started with the 20 series. They had the 9 series that were 900 cards, and they went to the 10 series, the 20 series, 30 series, 40 series, and now they're at the 50s. For anyone who really wants to know, I'm still running a 10 series card. It's that old, but 10 series card was pretty fucking kick ass. They actually can keep up to some extent. They don't have RTX capabilities, but they're just a regular ability to render is still in a position where you can play most games. There's only a few out there in the market where they just can't. Like Cyberpunk 2077, they just can't do it.
Right.
But I'm not playing that game. I'm still playing Descent 2.
Good decision.
Yeah.
I'm told that they did fix a lot of the problems that it had on launch, but my mental association with that game is still the initial impression of everyone fucking hates this game.
Yeah. It's because you have to have
No Man's Sky. People tell me that No Man's Sky is actually good now, but I have no interest in playing it because my initial impression was an entire internet saying, fuck this game. It's bullshit. It's like, well, I'm not going to buy it then.
Well, here's something worse than Cyberpunk 2077.
Hmm?
Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Oh God.
Yeah, it brings the 4090 to its knees, and that was at one time, not long ago, the best you can buy on the market. There was nothing better from anybody. You know, regardless if you're going to AMD or, well, ATI technically.
It's funny because when I think of Microsoft Flight Sim, I think of like a game from the 90s. Like
Yeah,
really,
all
really
blocky and
jaggedy
and stuff like that. Yeah, but now
I'm
now
guessing they've made updated versions since then.
It's rendering the terrain real time, including real flights.
Okay.
So if you're up in the air flying around and a DC-7 goes by, wherever you are in the map, there's actually a DC-7 in the air right now in that spot.
Nice.
It's real time for every airplane in this game. You have to have a pretty strong internet connection.
Yeah, but Siri's saying No Man's Sky is amazing now. Sure. I mean, so I've been told, but I'm not going to buy it.
No interest. But we have different reasons for no interest. You've been stung because it was sucky when it started.
Yeah.
I just don't have the computer power to do, or graphics power. I will not say computer power because I have plenty of computer power. I don't have the graphics power to enjoy it.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
it's the same with Baldur's Gate 3. Everyone is saying that it's actually decent. And it's like, no, my initial impression was everyone saying the game was woke. So as far as I'm concerned, the game is still woke. They didn't change anything. So I'm not going to buy it.
Well, I mean, a lot of the games that came out for the equipment that I have came out before the equipment I have. So they play really well. It's just that nothing current is particularly that good. I could technically run Cyberpunk, but I think I get like 22 frames per second.
That's not a good idea.
Nah, it's not good. You don't want to do, I mean, technically everyone will tell you 60 is the bottom of the number.
I wouldn't say that.
But I can't play at 30 anymore. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. No, I was going to say, I think you can deal with 30. Like, I don't recommend 30, but I would say 30 is the minimum in terms of like a playable experience.
Yeah.
It's not good, but it's functional.
No, it's not good at all.
60 is the minimum for an actually smooth experience.
Yeah. That's the reason why I specifically bought a 60 hertz monitor, because I was like, I can't do 30s anymore. I just can't do it. So I bought a 60 and I'm fine. And the funny thing is I'll run stuff like HOTS. I get 162 frames per second on HOTS. And because I tell HOTS not to worry about what my refresh rate is. Just give me everything you got.
Yeah.
So even the monitor can't show you what is being sent to it, I can still see on the screen in the top left corner you're getting, and that's, you know, I play Descent, I get like 285. Am I seeing anything better than 60? No.
Yeah.
But my card can do it.
I'm actually going to say, in terms of fighting games, 60 is absolutely hard minimum. You cannot go below 50. It breaks.
No, that's what I said. 60 is the base minimum.
No. But I'm like, there's certain games where you can get away with it. Like you can play Mario at 30 frames per second. It's not great, but
you can play checkers. You can play chess.
Yeah. Well, absolutely. Like you could play any. You could play like Final Fantasy, like, which is turn based. You can play that. That's fine. You can play Civilization at 30 frames per second.
Civilization, yeah.
But in a
Civilization is moving like 3 pixels at a time.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the frame it is. But fighting games are absolutely hard minimum of 60 because everything is calibrated around the number of frames in each attack. And so you can't afford to drop below 60 because it just breaks everything. It just fucks the game right up.
I think Jen picked this topic because she didn't want to talk.
Yeah, I figured it would be one I'd be like, I don't know if I can. I'll just.
You have any idea what we're talking about? I don't think anybody in chat. I don't think anybody in chat knows the fuck we're talking about either. Anyway, to get back on the topic, the 4090 was a pretty decent card. To look too expensive, $2,000 for the card. A 5090 is faster by 12%, but it's basically the same price as the 4090. It's also a $2,000 card. The problem with the 4090 is it melted.
Yeah, it's a slight issue.
And it was a well-known thing. and it continues to this day. They're still melting, but it's very rare. They've figured out some things to do to try to minimize it. They came out to 5090, which uses more power, and it's also melting now.
And so, to address Tier, he says, so you base your opinion on initial reaction, so you're going to limit yourself from good games because of initial reaction. Pathfinder Kingmaker was asked in the beginning. Yeah, but I didn't know that. Like, it didn't have such a strong negative reputation that it put me off. If I had heard the entire internet say Pathfinder Kingmaker is absolute dog shit, nobody play it, that would still be my initial impression. The only reason I played it is because I didn't hear that. It may have been terrible at the beginning, but no one told me, so I didn't know.
I just don't like any of the new games.
That's also a big part of it.
Everything I see, I just like, even stuff that I've like watched other people play. I'm like, oh, that looks fun. Watching them play, and then when I go to play it myself, I'm like, this is not fun at all. I don't like this at all.
But also, I think it's funny that Tier thinks that I'm concerned about missing out on games. Like, I'm going to run out of games. It's like, oh no.
I have 3,000 games. I need this one too.
I'm never going to experience No Man's Sky. I'll just have to play one of the other 2,500 games in my inventory instead. Oh, woe is me.
No, Terry's quite happy being old man shaking fist at No Man's Sky.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, yeah.
Even if I had the graphics power to play these AAA, top of the line games, I just don't find any of them enjoyable. Even the shooters that I used to play, I played Quake World, Quake and Quake 1, Quake 2, Quake 3, Arena, Quake World. I played all those things for years and years and years. And I gotten pretty good at them. And if a new Quake came, like the new Quake that came out, I guess maybe 2 years ago, never even looked at it. No interest.
And like Terry's saying, Street Fighter 7 is going to be dog shit. Good luck with that. Well, that obviously doesn't count as a first impression if you're only saying it out of spite, obviously. But also, when Street Fighter 7 does come out, if the entire internet says, fuck this game, Capcom fell off, what were they thinking? This game is a disaster, nobody buy it. Then if that's the prevailing opinion of the entire internet, then no, of course I'm not going to buy it.
Yeah. But you're democracy based. If everyone says it's shit, you're not buying it.
Well, I mean, unless they have a reason to think that the public opinion is wrong. Like, if someone says that, Desktop Dungeons 2 is terrible, well, I liked Desktop Dungeons 1, but I know that very few people like that kind of game. So I'll be more open to defying public opinion. But if people who like Street Fighter say that Street Fighter 7 is terrible, and that's like the overwhelming opinion of the bulk of fighting game players, then yeah, of course I'm going to listen to them and say, okay, it's probably terrible then.
Well, maybe if they come out with a new version of Dead or Alive, I might play that.
They probably won't. I think that franchise is...
Geez, I wonder why I would play that game.
No, well, yeah, obviously I know why you like it.
Yeah. Any red-blooded American man.
Dead or Alive 6 did very, very poorly from memory, so I don't think there's going to be any...
Did they cut it down, so it was all like very...
I don't remember why people disliked it. I'm not a Dead or Alive player, so I couldn't tell you the reasons for the dislike. But
I played it for a little while. I had a console for a while, so I used to play it. My roommate really liked it. I think he plays it for a half an hour and then spends the next hour in his bedroom, so I think I know what's going on there.
And Gunsky is 100% correct. Being old man shaking fist is more fun than modern games. True and real.
I think it'd be a different story if I had a console. I would probably play more games if I had a console, but I'm happy with the games I play on a PC. I enjoy them, especially Heroes of the Storm. I fucking love that game. even though there's not many people to play with.
I've noticed you're a fan.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of it. I just enjoy it so much because the graphics look really nice. The way you move your character is very easy to do, but the characters can be hard to play. It's not the mechanics that are the problem. It's the strategy behind the character, what the character can and can do, and when it can and can't do it. So there's a lot of mental planning. It's not just point and shoot. Like, there's a bunch of different healers in the game, but they all heal differently. So you have a character called Lucio. He was from Overwatch. I think he's Overwatch. And he has like a little gun, but he has auras. So if you're near him, he'll heal you. That's how he heals. And he has a power up that anyone near him will power everybody else up and heal everybody else quickly.
Cool.
But I play Ana. Ana's a point and shoot healer. Oh, you need help? Bang, shoot you. You need help again? Bang, shoot you. And I have to aim. And if you move, I'll miss you.
Yeah.
It's hard to play. But if you were to run into a situation where you needed healing, she is by far the best healer.
Okay.
But she's also very hard to play. Yeah, because she has all these other options. She has this ability where after a certain part of the game where she can shoot across the entire map to another section on the map, and she'll heal anything between you and her.
And just quickly, because Tia replied, he said he doesn't base his opinion on initial impressions and is more willing to give a chance. Hey, what you do with your money is your business. I'm not gonna like smack the mouse out of your hand and say, no, you can't buy this game. If you want to give a game a chance, have fun. I'm not going to stop you. I'm just saying that for me personally, if the entire internet tells me that a game is shit, I'll believe them.
Oh, Johnny Hellcat's here. I see the name. Where? Oh,
and
hey, Johnny.
As much as I hate to agree with Tier on a subsequent statement, he said PC Master Race. That is actually true.
That is true. Who's going to argue with you? All people here all play computer games, so as opposed to consoles. So there's no one here to argue with you.
I would legit say that there is zero reason to buy a console in 2025. Anything a console can do, a PC can do better.
But that's always been true. When you look at the periods where PCs and consoles existed at the same time, the PC always won.
Well, there's been a lot of situations in the past where there were sufficient console exclusive games that
that's true.
I could I could understand if someone bought a Switch in addition to a PC, because you can't play Mario, Zelda, Pokemon. You can't play that stuff on a PC because
that goes the other way too. Because there was never a mist for console.
Right. But then that's a reason to buy both. My point is that
there you go.
But my point is that whatever reason you have for buying an Xbox or a PlayStation also applies to the PC, whereas the same does not apply in reverse.
Yeah. Whereas
back then there was a case if you wanted to play something on the Xbox, there were Xbox games that weren't on Steam, for instance, or didn't have a PC version.
But there's other things. A computer can do far more than just games. So you get games plus
movies, plus music, plus
and then there's emulators,
plus Discord.
Even if you treat your PC as literally nothing but a machine that plays Steam games, it is still better than a console. That's my point.
I just like the format better. I don't like sitting all the way back. Shut up, phone. I don't like sitting back all the way on my couch looking at my TV across the room. I like having a monitor in front of me. Just that positional kind of thing. So it's not that one's faster than the other or this, that, or the other. It's just that for my eyes, it's better for me to have the monitor close. So I'm just used to it.
Yeah. That's fine. And here is continuing to justify himself. You don't need to justify yourself, dude. If you want to buy a game, buy a game. I'm just explaining why I don't. Like, I'm not going to stop you from spending your own money, dude.
Yeah, this is kind of the ban the porn discussion we had on Rumble before.
Yeah, it's like Just because I don't want to buy a game doesn't mean I'm going to stop you from buying it.
Yeah, go ahead and buy your game. Go ahead, watch your porn if you want to porn.
Yeah.
What we were talking about on Rumble, just to fill people in on YouTube, what we were talking about before on Rumble is we got on what Jen calls twatter today, and they were talking about the first 3 messages I got on my timeline were ban porn. Now,
yeah, that was very popular.
That was weird. I am no big consumer of porn. I never have been. I just what I have in my head is far sexier than anything I've ever seen on a computer screen. And I've got a girl, a real live human woman. You know, if I want to do something, I got the real thing. Who wants to look at a fucking screen? It's just, I just never got it. But if I see somebody on Twitter say ban porn, I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah.
You know, it's not for me. It's for the rights of people to do what they want to do. If they want to look at porn, then look at porn. You don't want to look at porn? Don't. You've got a button that says mute. You also have a button that says ban. You have 2 buttons to which to stop it. Yeah. But you don't want anyone else to see, and that's bullshit.
Like I will mute anyone who does that cheap engagement bait stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like I bet you can't think of a movie that doesn't have the letter A in it.
Right.
Right. If I see someone post that kind of bullshit, I mute them. I don't try and report them and get them taken off Twitter. Like, I don't have a problem with them doing it in general. I just don't want to see it. So
it's political. It's political stuff too. It's like Trump has decided to do this. What do you think?
Oh yeah, that's exactly the same thing.
Oh man, it's the same thing.
So, like anyone who does that kind of clear engagement baiting, I just mute because I don't want to see it on my Twitter feed, so I mute it. Yeah. But I'm not going to like try and get them taken off Twitter. I don't think it should be against TUES. Do what you want to do. I'm just going to make sure it's not on my feed.
Jen, what do you do when it comes to muting and banning? Do you say this person I will mute and this person I will ban based on a criteria?
Oh, absolutely.
What's your criteria?
If you're there to fish for emotions and you're there to peddle fake drama so you can make twatter bucks, I mute you. Because they're not there for anything else other than grifting.
Yeah. So I will mute those accounts, but I will block the bots. You know, the accounts that are quite clearly not humans. I'll just block those. But I'll only mute the ones that are clogging my feed with spam, like with engagement bait.
Yeah, I do still have the belief that, you know, you have the right to say the shit that you say. It's just I also have the right to walk away and mute you.
100%.
Like,
it seems to be the reasonable choice.
Yeah.
So these people who want to stop you are unreasonable.
Yeah. It doesn't hurt me in any way if you see engagement bait and you think, you know what? I can think of a movie that doesn't have an A in it. I'm going to tell this person my movie. If you want to do that, have fun. It's just not something I want to see, so I will mute such accounts.
Tonight's music poll is Collective Soul, obviously known for their long song names. Gel, Heavy, Run, and Shine. They do have a couple of songs that have like longer titles, but not much. There's a song that's very popular by them called December. That's got more syllables.
There you go. Okay, so there's 2 votes so far. So,
yeah, nobody knows who this band is.
Yeah, I was actually thinking that the vote count might be low because it's not quite as well known of a band.
Yeah. If you've ever seen the movie Varsity Blues, you've heard the song Run.
I have not seen that movie.
Well, yeah, that was for our audience. I
know. I'm just adding to the conversation that no, I have not seen Varsity Blues.
But that's Ali Larder in her whipped cream bikini.
Ah, well, see, now I kind of want to see.
Well, I'm going to burst your bubble because what people don't know is she's actually wearing a bikini underneath of it. You can't tell.
No, obviously.
But she is. But they never show her from the butt. They never show her from behind, I don't think.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's the same with...
and it's not whipped cream. It's actually shaving cream. So it's not
It's the same with almost any scene where they allude to the fact that there's nudity without actually showing it. Like, obviously, they're wearing clothes under. It's just the camera is framed so you can't see it.
It's like, Terry, all three of us are old enough to remember that one time in The Lion King where they didn't necessarily get it on, but it was implied they had a kid.
Right.
I didn't graphically see lions going, ah! In the middle of the movie, but it was kind of implied that, shit happened.
Yeah.
It happens a lot in movies. Yeah. Don't know why they think it's something that we need to be shocked or...
Have you ever heard of an actress named Chloe Sevigny?
No.
No. Fairly popular, maybe B-level actress. She was in a movie called The Brown Bunny.
Okay.
Full-on fellatio for a B-list tier actor. So sometimes they do show.
Yeah. No, but what I'm saying is, if they're only alluding to the nudity, so like in the case of like a whipped cream bikini or something where there's
well, that was sexy.
Scene obscuring just enough to make you think that in all those cases they're not actually going to be naked. The actress has got no reason to be naked if nothing needs to be shown on the screen.
Well, even women who are naked usually aren't naked. They're usually wearing something called a merkin. Have you ever heard that before?
That's a pubic wig.
Yeah, it's a pubic wig. Yeah. So even women who do appear nude or naked or however you want to phrase it, it's mostly just naked breasts, which
I
don't know. It's 62. They're just.
You've seen a few. You've seen enough
one or two. Actually 2 or 4. You really can't see one. I guess you could. Shirts half open, whatever. But yeah, I don't. It's a lot different when you're 22. And you're just barely getting any or not getting any, and your hormones are just like, if it moves, it's good enough. When you get to that, you're that kind of person. But when you get to be my age, it's kind of like, yeah, I know what that looks like. I've seen that before. So what's for dinner? It just doesn't make the impact anymore. Not that I'm not attracted to my girl. She's very happy. Blah, 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 blah. You got to make all the appropriate.
It's not the same.
Caveats.
Holy shit, I get to see boobs. You've kind of acclimatized to the fact.
There still is a little bit of that. A new set of boobs is still kind of like, that's nice,
Yeah. But like, obviously, what I'm saying is like the 22-year-old reaction of holy shit boobs.
Yeah, it's not
going to be there because
it's hard. It's hard for younger people to understand the perspective. It's like humans are built basically all the same generally. They all have all the same parts. They might look a little different here or there, but they're basically all the same parts. So it gets to a point that you've seen one, you see them all pretty much.
I mean for me, like I don't have a girlfriend, and I basically, with the exception of maybe like 2 weeks of my life, I've never had a girlfriend because it's not really been something I've pursued, to be fair. But like even me, who doesn't have access to the real thing, like I'm 40. What am I now? 44? No.
How old are you?
44. 44.
How old am I?
But yeah, like, and my reaction to seeing boobs is not the same as it was when I was 18 because
that's normal.
Like even without access to the real thing, I've seen them before. Like
I know. I've seen them before. Is that hold true for women? Jen? You're the woman here.
I think it's letting people push too much. Like, okay, like I get that I don't particularly go out. I've never actually been the type to go out of my way to watch porn. It's just never been for me. I don't get anything from it. But at the same time, though, it's never harmed me either.
But I mean, when you were young and you got your first glimpse of a guy without any clothes on, you're kind of like, oh, God. Are you still, oh my God, now? Or did you kind of like, oh, there's another one. I've seen another one in my life. I've seen too many of these.
The only time in my life I ever got a chance to scope out a group of guys, it was pointless because I'm blind. So we had the last time I had a swimming class was
I'll show you something.
Yeah, well that would have been So the last time they had funding for it for our schools, it was kind of mid-schooling. So not high school, not elementary. And I remember yeah, I was about 13, 14, and I'd given my glasses to the the person who was in charge of instructing us, and I couldn't find them, but I had to go get changed anyway. And one of the kids said that they were going to meet me out front, and I was like, okay. I can't see well enough to know what the symbols for male or female is like without it being like right stuck in front of my face. So I got them wrong. And so I walked into the boys' room and they're like, holy shit, there's a girl. And I was like, I can't see shit. Don't worry about it. And turned around and walked out. And then went into the girls' room and they were all like, tell us details. Tell us details. And I'm like, fog, blurry, tan skin, and tile. And then I turned around and walked out. Nothing for me I couldn't see, but I still felt bad. Like, if it had been the other way around, the girls would have been,
down the principal's office.
Oh yeah,
calling the cops. Yeah.
So I still felt bad. Like, I didn't really know that many of the boys.
I don't think the guys mind.
Oh, they thought it was funny as shit.
Yeah, of course.
I still,
I would be surprised if at least one of them didn't helicopter just to fuck with you.
No, but like I think this is one of the situations where the double standard makes sense because a woman walking into the men's room is not going to upset the men, whereas a man walking into the women's room is going to upset the women. Well, so it makes sense that there's
like the only thing I could do was walk in, realize I'd made my mistake, turn red, and turn around and walk out. Like there was nothing I could have done.
On the other hand, if a girl sees a guy, she's seeing everything. If a guy walks in on a girl, he's getting a tuft of fur, and that's it.
Well, I would say that the guy's probably not going to complain. But look, if a guy does go,
but she's seeing a lot more for her money. She's seeing the entire.
Oh. No, I'm not denying that, but I'm saying that the chances of them complaining is so much lower that it's like. But if a young boy does go to the principal and say that horrible lady Jen, she came into the men's bathroom and I'm traumatized, then you should be spoken to. But I can understand why it won't be taken as seriously as if I had walked into the woman's restroom and gotten a field of like 30 women saying, "What the fuck is this? Get this guy out!"
The reaction could be a different story too. If you went and then ran. Sorry, I didn't mean to scream into the microphone. People wearing headphones. But if you did that,
at least they know it's a mistake. You didn't.
Yeah. I think you get a little bit more.
And if I know the guy seriously wears glasses all the time, then I know that like if he doesn't have them on, chances are good he didn't plan for this,
Yeah. But then you're just if that's true, if he wore glasses and wasn't wearing them and walked in the room, he's still complicit there because he knows he can't walk into those rooms without having glasses on because he can't see.
Yeah.
So it's
and
different story.
Kate says double standards. I think sometimes double standards are appropriate. I mean, men and women are different, so there's certain situations where, like, I don't have a problem with saying women can't be firefighters or police officers. I would have no issue if there was that double standard. I don't think that one would be a problem.
It's also what were you doing? Like when I walked into there, like if I'd pulled this move, and I admit I'm grifting from like anime because I've seen them do this shit a lot. Where they're in the wrong room, they cover their eyes, and it makes it seem like, nobody can tell that you're peeping through your fucking fingers, right? If I'd done something like that, every guy in that room would have had a reason to complain. But the fact that I just like automatically was like, oh shit, and booked it, that's just a sign of, if a guy had done that, like covered his eyes and booked it, I would be like, shit, it was an accident.
Even if you hadn't done that, I don't think many boys would have gone complaining. Like it's
the natural reaction that I had,
Look at the man meat on display here. Even if you'd been that blatant about it, I don't think there'd be a lot of guys complaining to the
drop trout. Hey boys, they wouldn't mind at all.
And I do believe in people making mistakes. Like if you've obviously had at the natural response of somebody who's like, shit, I didn't mean to do this.
Yeah. Obviously, there's context that limits the amount of
I might tease you for a while. If you'd done that, I would tease you for a while. Like if it was an accident and you're like, shit, I didn't mean to. I don't mind ribbing. Like if the guys had teased me for it afterwards, I would have just laughed because they're not wrong. You know, that's funny as shit. But yeah.
And Key is saying unqualified people shouldn't be fight. And let's be real, the standards that should be upheld for those jobs are beyond the capabilities of the vast majority of women. Like they can lower the standards to get more women in, which is what they're doing, and I think is terrible. But the standards that should be upheld for those jobs are well beyond the capabilities of like 99.9% of women.
American women are kind of sturdy, but it is most. It is definitely most. But
no, but like you know that famous clip of she's not strong enough. You know, he got himself in the wrong place. If I need to pull him out of a fire.
Oh yeah.
But like the point is valid. She could not lift, you know, a 200-pound man out of a burning building because she's not strong enough. She's literally not.
Well, like, see, I have lived experience that kind of fights this a little bit. When I was really sick, I was in a recovery clinic, and I was a lot less weight than I am now because I was really in bad shape. I'm 231 today, but I was 158. Imagine being 6 foot tall and weighing 158 pounds.
Yeah, you're a skeleton.
Yeah, I was in real trouble. And I tried to get to the bathroom, and I got out of bed and I fell on the floor, and I crawled for a little while, but I just did not have the strength to make it to the bathroom. They heard me fall, and the nurse came, all of 5'5" maybe, picked me up, put me back in bed. Okay. One female, tiny little girl picked me up.
That's kind of why I said most women, like the overwhelming majority of women, aren't going to be strong enough, especially in a high pressure situation like a fire.
She wasn't a bodybuilder either. I mean, she was no shoe on head. She was no little, can't lift a feather.
My point is that
the truth is behind a lot of the DEI isn't just that they're picking women. It's people who are nepo babies. It's a lot of nepotism, like hiring my friends and that shit. Even if they were like outsourcing to diversify, it's not even that.
No, but my point was that, like, yeah, sure, some women could pick up someone like Hammer, but in a high pressure situation like a fire, it's a lot more dangerous to take that gamble.
It is. That's why I don't like DEI. Like, if the woman can actually handle it and can do the same course as the man, sure, give her the job. If she can't, then no.
On the other hand, she's going to be.
If the nurse had not been able to pick Hammer up and put him back in the bed, she could have gotten a second nurse and it would have been fine. He would have spent a few extra minutes on the floor, but nothing bad would happen. If he was in a burning building and she couldn't pick him up, that's a very different situation.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want her up there. Like that's why I don't like them lowering the standards.
Yeah.
Like I said, if she was able to do like the initial standards, and then yeah.
There is such a thing as adrenaline too, so you have to take that into account. But let me make a quick plea to everybody to go ahead and vote for the music, even if you don't know these songs.
Yeah, just pick something.
I don't believe in a world where we wait for the freaks of nature to come along to fill in roles. That's where I'm at, and that's why I'm anti-DEI. I don't mind having rule for people who are just outliers, because it's cruel to punish somebody for being an outlier. But I don't think the world should revolve around outliers.
It shouldn't go the other way around, right? You shouldn't do that to the majority by trying to cater to the outlier.
No, I think if you're an outlier, sure, it can suck. But I mean, that's not society's problem to fix. It's like you have to acclimatize with the majority. That's just how it works.
Okay, we're not getting any more votes. Everybody is.
And Gunsky says Shine is the good one. Shine is the only one on that list that I've heard before.
It's funny because, at least in the States, both Run and Gel were both much more successful than Shine was.
Okay. I mean,
Run was from the movie. That's what really balanced it. And that's a pretty good song. But yeah.
And I think TVDM is just trying to be offended at this point, so I'm not gonna I'm not gonna bother anymore.
Yeah. Well, freaks of nature is an edge way of saying it, but not. You're looking at the average and not the average, and without swinging too far to they're just absolutely awful and they're just amazing. Those are, you don't want to just argue the polls here, but you have to admit honestly that the average woman cannot lift the average guy. It's just a. Well, yeah, I think we have our winner.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty convincing lead. Shine is not going to be dethroned, I don't think.
It's too bad I can't play the music so people would understand it, but that's what Rumble's for. You guys got to join us on Rumble.
That's what Rumble is for. You head over to the pre-show if you want to hear the songs.
Yep. I'm sure you'd recognize them once you heard them. A lot of people don't know them by name, so. Yeah, well, I mean, DEI is definitely on the decline now, thanks to Trump. So
yeah,
I mean, he literally is removing it from offices in the American legal system and political system and stuff like that. So it's gonna take a big hit.
I think it's a good thing. Like I know there's a lot of people who are worried about other people of color having jobs, and I'm like, I'm not. Because if you can prove that you're a person who's qualified for the job, I don't care what you look like. I don't care who you actually, I'd rather not know, but I don't care who you fuck. All right. As long as it's not kids.
Right. Or animals.
Or animals. As long as you're actually qualified for it. If you can prove that you've done all the work, then yes, get the job. If not, then I'm sorry. You're just like everybody else. You have to find a different job.
I'm not qualified to play in the NBA. I'm sorry.
Like qualified. I know we want to pick what we want to be when we're kids, but you know, majority of us didn't become astronauts. Sorry. Yeah, majority of us didn't.
I didn't play in the NBA.
It's okay. You know, you can still have a good life afterwards. You know, you find other things you can do and still be happy with.
Yeah.
I kind of always knew I was going to be in computers even when I was a little kid. So.
I mean,
lucky ones.
I started playing video games when I was like 3 or 4. So I think it was like pretty clear from an early age that I was going to enjoy such things.
I think it'll do more for people of color in the first place. You know, it's one of those things where the amount of people that I've met over the last 5 years who didn't know who Thomas Sowell is. You have really qualified Black people.
Of course.
You know, they already exist. I regret that I didn't learn about him sooner too. You know, like I knew him as like a political figure, but God, the amount of work he's done.
They're not all as dumb as TUES is. There are some smart ones out there. No, and yes, obviously I'm just mucking around. But.
I know. He knows. Who knows? It's just. Yeah.
But I will disagree with Key yet again because she said all plants. Honestly, if you want to fuck a tree, fuck a tree. I don't care. It's different with animals.
There is a tree that some woman married that did have a branch that was rounded about 7 inches long. And
there you go. Oh. There you go. If you want to fuck a tree, fuck a tree.
Weren't we talking about how they're? Did we talk about?
I don't think you should. You're a healthy person if you want to fuck a tree, but I don't think you're doing any harm if you decide to do this.
Weren't we talking before on Rumble about how sometimes there's a lot of women that are really perverted? We were talking about Lily.
Oh, yeah.
She was by the way, she was on the whatever podcast last night.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I know. I almost couldn't watch the show. I'm sorry, but maybe I'm old-fashioned like that. But they started talking about what she was doing, and they had another person that was there who was in the porn industry for like 15 years, and she was defending it, and I almost vomited. It was just
Yeah, no.
It just completely
I think
turned me
it's- I
off.
think it's
I struggle. I have to immerse myself in people like Jen and Kieverdam and the other women that are in Minions to try to hold on to the goodness of women, because I
course.
see so many examples of these people. I'm like, it's just, you know, I'm not a Christian conservative, but come on, at some point you got to say that's fucking disgusting.
See,
No,
I had a teacher who was kind of similar to like a chokes on dick.
Yeah.
And so I viewed people who were having sex out of not necessarily wedlock, but if you're like fucking around, I literally had this view of people as being AIDS spreaders.
That's a possibility, or at least it used to be a possibility. I don't know if it still is, but I don't have a problem with people having sex, obviously within a marriage or even outside of a marriage, consensual. Even casual sex, I don't think it's great, but you know, if you're turned on and she's turned on and you think it could be the start of something more and all that kind of stuff, you want to fuck, go right ahead. It's not my job to tell you what you can and can't do. But when it starts to get, you know, Sodom and Gomorrah kind of shit, your fucking dogs, your fucking trees, shit like that, it's like, look, man, if you want to spend 24 hours fucking 1,056 people, there's something fucking wrong with you, man. There's something wrong with you.
Very
and we're all
wrong.
treating it like, oh, that's interesting how you did that. No, it's not. It's disgusting. It makes me want to throw the fuck up. You're taking something that's supposed to be beautiful and you're just making it awful.
And like, I did notice a lot of people saying, like, what about the men though? The men are disgusting too, but not as disgusting because they only fucked one whore as opposed to the whore who fucked 1,000 dudes.
Yeah, it's the key in the lock thing.
But no, like, if you're dude 671 in that line, you're disgusting, just not as disgusting as Bonnie Blue for wanting to fuck 1,000 dudes in one day.
1,056 was the final tally, according to her.
That's revolting.
I mean, just talking about it, even now talking about it, it's like, oh.
Like, that's a temple I wouldn't want to go to. That's more like that's the subway.
And these women end up getting married. You kind of think to yourself, Jesus Christ.
What kind of idiot?
Who wants to marry the town bicycle? You know?
Yeah.
Who wants to?
And apparently,
I love women. I hate how some of them act.
Yeah, and apparently, according to TUES, like the ones fucking trees and all that is almost exclusively women.
That would be a question that me and Kieverdam could talk about. What do you consider? And we should probably actually talk about, what do you consider to be promiscuous?
Cheating.
Well, cheating is that's
infidelity. That's different.
Yeah, it's infidelity. But usually, if you're cheating a lot, that would be promiscuous. But where is your barometer at? Is 5 in your life a lot? Is 15 in your life a lot? Is 25 in your life? What's the number? I know there's a lot of talk around body count, because you can have one guy and fuck him twice a day for your entire life. And you're having a fuck ton of sex, but it's one guy. And somehow that's okay. But if you have one guy every 6 months and you still keep at that pace, then you're a whore.
I wouldn't say necessarily that you're a whore, but I would say that you have your own mental health issues. You have your own problems. That's partially on you. If you're flipping from guy to guy to guy every 6 months, it's not just the guys.
Yeah, no, I think the key difference is that there's like pair bonding. Like if you're in a committed relationship and you have sex twice a day for 6 months, that's reinforcing your ability to pair bond, as opposed to like a random dude every 6 months. You're not going to bond with any of them because you're not going to spend enough time with any of them to form that bond. And trying to bond with that many men is going to weaken your ability to do that in the long term. So that when you are finally ready to settle down in your like mid-30s, you're not going to be able to form that same connection with a guy, because you will have strained your ability over the previous decade and a half.
We get into the good topics right at the end of the show.
I know.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big discussion. It usually ends up, every time you watch whatever podcast, it usually ends up somewhere in that show somewhere.
Right.
And it gets clipped and you get the chance to see it. But we've got a lot of things to work out. I was talking to my nephrologist today because that's one of the reasons why I fell, because I had to go see my nephrologist. And I was trying to get everything in order, and I was talking to her about it, and she just had a kid. She has 2 kids, and I thanked her for having 2 babies and staying married, because you're repopulating the planet, and she's still young enough. She's had her 2nd baby, and she's 32. She could have a 3rd.
There's if the whatever podcast was shorter, I would watch it, but it's like 5-6 hours long.
Yeah.
If it was 1 hour, I would definitely watch it. If it was 2 hours, I would probably watch it sometime.
They have clip channels.
Clip. Oh, I'll watch clips. Clips is fine. But like the actual stream itself, like I can't watch the same thing for 6 hours. It's too long.
I just put it on and do something else and listen to it like a radio. That's what I do generally. But we need to get out of here because it's after 10:01.
Yeah.
Am I forgetting anything? I'm not forgetting anything, am I?
I don't know. I think so. You might be forgetting Natalie Imbruglia's name, so I'll just remind you.
Thank God you're here, Terry. You make my whole life much better. All right, well then, let me get the outro going then. Thanks, fam, as always, for chatting with us tonight. If you can't wait for the next Wednesday show, remember the Millions are live every evening except Tuesday, with most shows starting at 11:30 p.m. Eastern, 7 days a week. Host and start times are linked in the description down below. Don't forget about the Rumble pre-show. We really do have a lot of fun talking on the other platform. Able to say stuff and listen to stuff that we can't do here on YouTube. It's a shame. But if you have a chance, join us there. Links are distributed on Twitter before every show, so you can stop by and say, hey. We go live almost as soon as Terry gets there. So
pretty much.
I really have to build a screen for 2 people until Jen gets there, but
sorry.
There's nothing to be sorry about.
Jen, you show up on time. I show up early.
Yeah.
I try to be early sometimes.
Yeah. We will be back. I still have to find a better way of writing that text down because I can never say that properly without. We will be back next Wednesday at 9 p.m. as usual. Hope you guys enjoyed the show, and we'll see you again next week. Have a great night, everybody.